What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a bunch of Destiny 2 news and content updates for Shadowkeep and Season of Undying. So we're going to round up some of the new stuff happening this week, quest locations and new rewards. We're also going to be getting the Festival of the Lost reveal this week, but we're going to talk about new exotics, including Destiny's first charity exotic Ghost Shell, and this is part of Bungie's new event, so we'll round up exactly what that's about, as well as the possible return of a D1 exotic, and we'll touch on Pinnacle rewards. Bungie are looking at possible improvements. Then we've got other roundups and upcoming content to talk about in this video, so guys, if you enjoyed this one, a rating is very much appreciated, but now, let's get into it. So firstly, stay tuned this week for the reveal of Festival of the Lost. DMG did say that they're going to show off some of the new armor sets and talk about what the event will be like this year. It does appear that it'll kind of follow a similar structure to what we've seen in the past, but there'll be some cool rewards, including the new exclusive weapons, so that's something to look forward to on top of the pretty juicy content update that we're getting next week in general. This week we did get the quest for Leviathan's Breath though, and of course it's a pretty fast quest. Coolest part for me would definitely be Banshee's hidden workshop in the tower, as well as some of the lore that we saw there. Poor Banshee is being reset so often that he can't even remember Cade's death at this point, and that's pretty sad. There have been a couple of sort of sad Easter eggs to Cade, including that final stash that we were sent to find in the Risk and Reward quest inside of the Cosmodrome War. Man, it's all sinking in at this point. I always feel bad for those exos. It's no life, you know. But how do you guys feel about the bow itself? Is it boop-tastic or not so much? It does do pretty decent damage. It'll one-shot supers in the Crucible, as well as shielded One-Eyed Mask Titans, so that's pretty fun. Unfortunately, I only used the weapon for a few minutes because I was without internet for several hours last night, which is certainly fun. So if you want to check out some gameplay reviews, then definitely check out good folks like Cool Guy and Astacross, as they'll have you covered on that front. Now though, let's talk about Bungie's upcoming charity event. And between October 24th and November 10th, they're inviting the Destiny community to help fundraise for the Bungie Foundation's iPads for Kids program and the Children's Miracle Network, which benefits sick kids across the US. And so firstly, you can donate to get some pretty awesome rewards in-game. A $10 donation will get you the new Mist Blossoms emblem, and a $50 donation will land you the Gilded Shell, which is the first charity exotic Ghost Shell in Destiny 2. It's a pretty awesome looking ghost, and obviously it's a really cool idea. On top of this though, Bungie are inviting the Destiny community to actually stream to help fundraise for this as well. Anyone can sign up for it, and so my plan is to stream here on the channel at some point in the next week or so. I'll keep you posted on exactly when we're going to be doing that, and of course a bunch of other folks in the community will stream as well, and then Bungie will have a 24-hour Festival of the Lost stream marathon with a bunch of content creators and a live stream with Bungie devs, and that'll take place on October 29th. I think there'll be a lot of donations to get the exotic Ghost Shell. Some folks found the perks in the database. I think it comes with Omni Telemetry and Speed Demon, and then a random perk. And donations are actually live now, so you can make the donation at the moment, and then I believe rewards will unlock after the 29th of October. So check that out, as well as some of the other donation rewards you can get, because all of the donations will go directly to these charities. Let me know your thoughts about that, and I'll link the article and details below, as well as keeping you posted on when we're going to live stream on this channel. Now though, let's get back to some in-game content stuff. And Rubbish Waterfall from Reddit shared that Jesse Hall from Bungie uploaded something pretty interesting to ArtStation. So it's actually a high poly version of No Time to Explain / Fate of All Fools in D2. And that's pretty interesting because it was uploaded in bulk alongside a bunch of current D2 weapons. So Thunderlord, Ariana's Vow, the Rune ornament for Izanagi's Burden, as well as a few others, and all of these are actually in the game at the moment. If we look at the upgraded model for the weapon, it's pretty highly detailed for D2 right there. And so considering this has been done, could we possibly see a return of the Stranger's Rifle in D2? Well, of course there has been conversation about it already, and this only really increases the possibility that it's going to happen. This particular model is actually blue, and that's the same color as the Fate of All Fools, and that was only ever owned by one player who had it gifted to them by Bungie. So it seems fairly unlikely we'd actually get Fate of All Fools in the game, and of course, that exotic bonus is what Jade Rabbit has, so if it was to return, it'd probably be as No Time to Explain, and it is also titled No Time to Explain on the ArtStation page, so we can only really speculate, but we know that we do have more Vex-related content on the way in the future. That includes Final Assault this season, and possible Vex content that we're going to get in the seasons beyond this one, so nothing is confirmed, but it's certainly more possible than it's ever been before. Of course, Akora in the tower is making progress on that portal that she's building, and it appears that this week she's bringing in new supplies as we continue to offer Vex components for the project. And there's some pretty cool artwork right here that I hadn't seen anywhere else, so this is on the Season of Undying page. This is very much like the hero art that we had for the annual pass drops last year, and so it looks like Bungie will continue that with the Year 3 seasons moving forward. In the game this week though, we do have the Eris Weekly quest, and this one is the Memory of Omar Agar. First, we need to kill a powerful Hive Wizard with his super ability, and the Methane Flush Lost Sector on Titan is a really easy way to get this done. Simply kill the Hive Wizard with your super, and then we need to use bows or snipers to get precision kills on powerful enemies, and I did this in the Leviathan entrance. I did have to reload a couple of times, but it's a fairly quick way to get it done. Of course, once we find Omar's set of knives, we need to return them to Eris, and she does have a few words to say.
I tried to see. I tried to see. That is not Omar. Forgive me.
Eris, do you recognize this talisman?
Omar surely made this, though I have never seen it before. Perhaps he made it in captivity, hoping for rescue. No, that's not it. He knew his light was lost. This talisman was not for him. He meant for me to find it. Thank you, friend, for one last gift of luck.
Pretty interesting stuff as always, and it leaves us only one nightmare of Ariana 3 left to dispel next week, so really looking forward to that. And are you guys ready for the huge loot reveal? Check this out. Boom! We got... oh, we didn't get anything. Is that a thing? What's going on with that? If you are looking for the Fallen Council though, which is the roaming nightmare for this week, you'll find a series of Wretched Fallen, which spawn precisely where we originally landed on the moon in D1 near Archer's Line. We also got Master Nightmare hunts this week, and they do drop Supreme Nightmare mods, as well as Pinnacle power drops, so it's good that we've got an additional source for those in the game. And on that subject, Cosmo said that they've been collecting feedback on the Pinnacle power progression system and giving it to the team, who are currently looking into improving the system. So Bungie are definitely aware, and of course, from the baseline of what we have in Shadowkeep, they can kind of iterate on that fairly quickly as we move into future seasons. But for the Supreme mods which are dropping in the Nightmare hunts, they could actually be pretty useful in upcoming content like the dungeon, because we know that there is at least a nightmare associated with it. But also Altars of Sorrow, which is going to be a hidden multi-tier event in Sorrow's Harbor, according to what we've seen in trailers. So you've got Supreme Nightmare Breaker, which grants additional damage against enemy shields created by Nightmare bosses, Nightmare Banisher, which grants additional damage to your super, and Crusher, which gives you additional damage to melees and grenade abilities against Nightmare bosses. So at least when it comes to really difficult content that has those Nightmare enemies, the mods are definitely very strong. And on the subject of Altars of Sorrow, I wonder if that's something that we'll get after the dungeon launches or after some kind of world event coming up. I also spotted something in the Lectern inventory right here. I'm not sure. We've seen this item in game, so let me know down below if I'm mistaken on that, but if not, maybe it could be a rune required to start the event, or another material associated with upcoming content we'll get for that. We also have other secrets, like the Hive Flower and hidden lecterns dotted around Anchor of Light, so it does seem most likely that that's going to trigger alongside the dungeon or Xenophage. And so once again, next week is going to be pretty fun. Of course, as I mentioned the other day, Telesto was popping off and doing some pretty broken stuff, where you could use enhanced dashes to asset mods to farm your super via Telesto's projectiles. So they did disable the weapon, and that's why you can't use it if you're wondering. Also, if you've got it equipped, it will drop your power level because it's not technically applying to your character. I'm curious to see how Bungie are going to fix that one, but on the subject of some of the future updates and known issues in the game, somebody did say, is there any chance we'll see a Thunder Crash buff in update 2.6.1? And Cosmo said not in that update, but the team is aware of feedback around the subclass, so hopefully it's something they continue to look at. Of course, they confirmed that Xur only offering collection rolls is a known issue, and he is supposed to offer random rolls on all of the stats and elemental affinities on exotics. The elemental affinity conversation in itself is one that continues. And on top of a lot of the other feedback that's been given, Cosmo said they're pushing the feedback to allow players to re-roll elemental affinities using materials. So I guess that is another possibility. They're investigating an issue where some of the 1.0 armor ended up with significantly worse stats after the update that we got with Shadowkeep. And so there's potentially a bug there where some of the stats aren't updating to the proper values. And on top of this, Cosmo's letting the team know that players do have a desire to have all of the forges, the Black Armory ones, selectable at any time. And of course, if you are experiencing any issues with Shadowkeep, there is the known issues blog, and I'll link that one below. For today, guys, that rounds up everything I wanted to talk about in this video. Let us know if you've picked up Leviathan's Breath, any thoughts that you have on that weapon. I'll keep you posted about the Bungie charity event. Let us know if you plan to donate and hang out for that. And yeah, eyes set on next week, I guess. But for today, if you've enjoyed the video, a rating really helps me out. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more Destiny content, then feel free to hit subscribe, and I'll keep you up to date with everything related to the game. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in as always, and whatever you do, I hope you have an awesome day.